Hello, hi, just loading. Hi, I'm Isabel. I am founder of the Party Kit Network, and Corey has very kindly invited me to talk to you about what a Party Kit is and the mission of the Party Kit Network. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments, and I'll also share some links after my talk that might help you if you want to find out more about party kits or fancy setting up your own. So I've always been interested in waste, and I have always been quite conscious about what I use and have very diligently recycled everything. But it was only really a couple of years ago that I actually sat down and looked at where the things we come from, what they're made from, and also what happens to it after we've used it. And I was very lucky to go and visit the waste recovery plant near me. So I looked at the process for how they collect our general waste and incinerate it, and also where they sort our recycling. And really from that I worked quite hard to start to make more sustainable choices in my life and for my family. And I was quite shocked at kind of the impact that we have that I hadn't realised. And so as I had a 2-year-old son at the time, and as he approached the kind of endless birthday party phase, that was one of my areas of worry. And then I read a blog post by the amazing Jen Gale on Sustainable-ish, who wrote about a party kit that had been set up fairly local to her. And that for me was just a light bulb moment, that something as simple as a box of reusable tableware and decorations can actually have such a significant impact on the waste generated from a party, and also it's still fun and it's very accessible. So what is a party kit? So a party kit is a box of reusable tableware like plates, cups, forks, bowls, jugs, table linen, decorations. Some even have party games in, character backdrops, all sorts. There's quite a range, and the idea is that someone in your local community runs the box either independently or as part of a small business, and they lend out that box to people who have parties. And the idea is that by borrowing the box, you're not buying paper plates or disposable napkins or single-use decorations, and you can significantly reduce the amount of waste from your party. So you might wonder, well, disposables are actually really convenient, and you always use them, so what's the problem? And I too have used paper plates and disposable cutlery. So the main issue is that they're single use. We put a lot of energy and resources into creating something that gets used for a half-an-hour party. They are difficult to recycle, normally because they're made from mixed materials, or they're contaminated with food waste. In landfill, they can take a really long time to break down. So for example, a paper plate can take between 5 to 20 years to break down in landfill. And if they become litter, they are a risk to wildlife. You can get compostable disposables, so they're generally made from single material, and that might be a waste product, so things like the bamboo ones, for example. Some of them you can home compost, but it's worth checking because a lot of them require industrial composters, which not everyone has access to. So that's why we have created party kits. So how it works is you can go onto our website, we pop in your location, and we'll show you pins of party kits that exist that are local to you. So across the UK, we've currently got about 415 kits. They are not currently all lending due to COVID restrictions, but when it's time to party again, there are quite a lot. So hopefully there is one near you. You can make contact with that party kit through our website and arrange your booking. Each party kit, as it's run independently, does have a different range of equipment and different terms for, say, how long you can hire the equipment for and whether or not a washing up service is included. Some of them also do offer delivery, or you might collect from someone's home or a local school or a local shop. So you pick up the kit, have a great party. Some kits require you to wash up at the end. Some of them will accept you to put everything back in the box and return it for it to be used again. So an average party for 30 kids, if you can remember when we had parties that large, can easily save over 100 single-use items from going to landfill by hiring a party kit. So it really does make a difference. People who have hired party kits are generally very passionate about the environment and saving waste, but we hope it will become more mainstream. So I think the things that people often say are it's very convenient, it's good value for money, you don't get soggy paper plates, and it's a beautifully simple concept that they wondered why they didn't hire one before. So all really positive. So I'll just move on to why there's a Party Kit network. So after I discovered the concept of a Party Kit, I thought, wow, is there one near me? Because can I hire one for my son's birthday? So I put a couple of posts on local parents groups to see if anyone heard of one, and there was one that had been set up about 15 miles from me. So I very kindly spoke to those ladies to find out how they run their kit and if there anyone else. And my background is in e-commerce, so I specialise in user experience design and solving problems with technology. So I was like, there should be a simpler way to find your party kit. So that very quickly spiraled into creating a network, and we are now a registered community interest company. So I started it last year with the support of our very first kit owners. Many of whom were already running party kits and hadn't realised necessarily that other people were doing it. So it was great to bring everyone together. We are a non-profit organisation, so the Party Kit Network itself doesn't charge a membership fee and doesn't take any commission from hires. We have networks across the UK and Australia. So earlier this year, we were very fortunate to partner with Erin Rhodes, who's a zero waste author in Australia, and who's really driving the reuse mission across Australia, which has been great. We are funded predominantly by donations and the hire of my own party kit, and we have done a fundraiser this year as well. Our aims are to connect party organisers with their local kit, so promoting the concept so people know that it is a thing, and also helping them to connect with the people who run their local kits. We work quite hard to support the people who run kits, so that's from the very first point of deciding, yes, I'd like to set up a kit. So how do you source equipment? How do you set up your booking process? How do you create a website or a Facebook page? How do you write your terms and conditions? We also provide access to discounted health and safety training. So we offer a food hygiene course, which is related to keeping equipment clean. We have also offered membership grants as well. And really the aim is to inspire more people to set up kits so that it becomes more accessible and easier for people to access. Why does it matter? So our main goal is to reduce waste. So to stop those single-use items going in the bin at the end of a party. Secondary to that is the protecting resources. So we're not chopping down new trees to make plates for a 30-minute party. And we hope that by making this sustainable change easy and accessible, it will springboard people into making more sustainable changes, which is why we are a champion for the One Earth show, which is a big event coming up next year, the NEC in Birmingham. So if you're maybe at the beginning of your journey to make more sustainable choices, then this is definitely something to look out for. So it's called the One Earth Show, and it's in October next year in the NEC in Birmingham, and it will be a chance to look at what different vendors are doing with regards to alternative products that are more sustainable, but also different methods for how to make what you're doing at home or how you travel more sustainable. And there'll be workshops and talks, so it'll be a really exciting event, and I'm so glad that the Party Kit Network can be a part of that, as it really fits well with our mission. So if you've thought party kits might be for you, then I would first recommend go on the website to see if there's one local to you. People who run party kits at the moment often do it on their own, and so many would probably be a bit open to a partnership if you wanted to collaborate. If there isn't one near you and you want to set up your own, then we have a guide available on our website which has quite a lot of detail about how to select equipment and how to run the kit. I'm going to give you some tips for my top 5. So my first tip is the best tableware is reusable. So what I mean by that is I often get asked what type of plate should I have in my party kit. So the options really are plastic, bamboo, moulded bamboo, enamel, crockery, and there's even some tin ones as well. I'd say the majority of the kits are plastic, so normally the IKEA plates or similar, and that's because at the moment most of our party kits are aimed at children's parties, although they have been used for all sorts of events. Mine's been to a christening, one in Brighton went to an art gallery opening, some have done work barbecue events, so a range, but predominantly they are aimed at children's parties, which for me currently plastic is the best option, which was difficult to accept after making so many changes to get rid of single-use plastic from my life and then going, oh, I need more plastic tableware. But having looked at the options, for me, the fact that it was very affordable, it's extremely durable, and also I can find end-of-life recycling for them. At the moment, that is the best option. Hopefully, someone will come up with something more sustainable that's equally as durable and reusable. And I'd be very excited to speak to them if they have. The next top tip we've got is a large, easy to clean storage box. So my kit is stored in a box that's much bigger than this, and it makes it easier to store it at home, and it's much easier to transport. And because I offer a washing up surface, it means that at the end of the party they can put all the tableware in that box, and it's not going to leak over anything, and then I can wash it when it comes home. It's also important that it's something you can clean from an infection control perspective as well. Another top tip is having a laminated equipment list. So most party kit owners will offer a couple of packages, so there might be different numbers of place settings in the kit, or there might be a basic kit and then a more deluxe kit that might have all the decorations. It's a good idea to have an equipment list that's laminated, which you can then write on with a Sharpie pen how many plates someone's borrowed, how many knives and forks they've borrowed. It makes it much easier for the hirer to know that they've actually returned everything, and for you to keep track of what you sent out. One of our party kit owners recommended a Sharpie pen, and then you use nail varnish remover to update the numbers later. Another tip is to charge a deposit. Now, there is a real range in how much it costs to hire a party kit. So some kits are lent for free, some kits are just lent for the cost of the washing up time, some kits are lent for an average of about 50p per place setting. It really varies, and it also depends on how much equipment is in the kit often as well. But even if you decide that you would lend your kit for free, I would recommend charging a deposit. It doesn't need to be a very big deposit, and it's not about covering the cost of the equipment. It's normally just more of an incentive to make sure people actually check the list to make sure that they're returning all the equipment that they borrowed. And then my last tip is really spend some time planning the booking process and practice on a friend, particularly if you don't work in retail, or that's kind of not your bag, then that's okay. You just need to test it out. So thinking about how someone's going to find you, how the different ways they might contact you to arrange a booking. So that's predominantly going to be via your Facebook page or email, or they might phone you. So we just need to make sure you know what information you need from that person, what information you need to give them, and it will just make managing bookings a lot easier, and also reduce the chance of something going wrong. So I would always take an address for someone hiring a kit, even if they were collecting it from me, just so I know that if something went wrong or they couldn't drop it off, I could go and pick it up. So as I said before, we have got a guide on our website, which you can download. It's free, and it has loads of tips like this in to help you decide how to set up your kit, how much to charge if you want to charge, whether or not you offer a washing up service, and there's also some details of partnerships that we've got, so where you can get access to discounted tableware. I would say that quite a lot of our kits have managed to source some or all of their equipment secondhand. So in one of my kits, all the plates and cups have come secondhand, and that again reduces the impact of the party kit. But ultimately, as long as the items in the kit are reusable and get used many times before they have to get recycled, then they're still doing a better job than single-use disposables. And then lastly, I just wanted to cover off some tips for making a party more sustainable. So the first item is looking at invitations. So one of my tips would be, one, if it's a kids' party, getting the kids to make them and reusing things like the bags of cereal packets to use instead of new paper. Or go digital. So there are quite a lot of invitation services out there, or you could just send a message, or you could use an app like Canva, who've got loads of templates where you can create really fancy artwork and then email that to your friends. With the food, I would definitely recommend, for a more sustainable party, keeping it simple, because the easiest way to reduce your packaging is to make it yourself. So either you're roping in friends and family, or keeping it simple. Often we have a tendency to over cater, like I definitely have that tendency, and panic buy stuff that actually we don't need. And particularly for a kids' party, it might not even be at a meal time, so just enough for a snack is actually probably enough. So really thinking about how much food you need and how you can buy it and prepare it will reduce the amount of waste at the end. For decorations, reusable. So pre my kind of drive to become more sustainable, my go-to decoration was definitely balloons. However, since then I have very much discovered a love for bunting. You can also get paper fans, you can make pom-pom garlands, all sorts of things. You could make paper chains out of kids' drawings. We've got a blog post on our website which has a whole list of ideas of how to find alternative decorations to balloons. So if you're keen to have, or if you're having a party soon and you're keen to avoid single-use decorations, then definitely check it out. We also have a blog post about party bags, because that is definitely one of the pain points for many parents. The plastic party bag filled with plastic things that actually kids don't always find that interesting. We've got a blog post with some ideas, which is written by one of our party kit owners, which have some really great things. And there's also another post on our website about a recipe jar, which I thought was an amazing idea. So it does require you to collect jam jars ahead of time, but and in each jar you put part of the ingredients for making cookies, so the flour and sugar and any decorations. So then when the kids get home from the party, they just have to add the butter or dairy-free spread, and then they can make their own cookies. Some people include cookie cutters related to the theme of the party, or decorate their jars. And then we've got a downloadable little tag that you can add onto the jars, which has got the details of how to the recipe for making the cookies. We also have some partnerships, so if you don't fancy making your own party bags, then there are some really lovely small independent suppliers who are making plastic-free party bags. So if you go onto the website, you can find out more about them. And then the last kind of tip for making a party, particularly kids' parties, a bit more sustainable is looking at the gifts. So if your child has managed to invite his whole class to the party, then that could mean quite a lot of presents. One option is to use an online gift group. So there's a couple around. One of them is Kinder Gifts. So that allows you, well, that also enables you to send out the invites digitally, but it also allows you to say if your child would like something specific that everyone could club together to buy, or if they would prefer to donate the money to a charity or a cause. Then it's a really lovely way of having meaningful gifts at a party rather than loads of stuff that your child might not be interested in. So that was everything I wanted to cover today. Thank you for having me. I will put in the comments below, I'll add the links in of the things that I've mentioned. We are the Party Kit Network. We are very passionate about making parties more sustainable, and we hope that you'll join us. Thank you.